Hey guys, welcome to the AFL and NRL Saturday Best Bets video. My name is Reese, and in this video, I'm going to go through my 4 favorite bets for Saturday, 2 in the AFL and 2 in the NRL. So there's 4 games. We'll get straight into it, starting with the AFL. So there's 4 games tomorrow, and all of them are potential betting games. I really like to go through, and pick and choose which games I actually want to bet into. And genuinely, all 4 of these could be good betting games. The early game, Collingwood versus Adelaide. I think the Pies should win at home, and I do like the 139 in that matchup, but currently not going to bet it. Also, I spoke about in the round preview that I like the Bulldogs at the plus, around plus 20 against the Giants. That number's come down to plus 14.5 now, so I don't think there's that much value there. You can't really make too much of the Dogs' big win last week against Richmond, considering they lost to Hawthorn the week prior. And I think a lot of people are getting a touch carried away with that. So I'm going to stay out of that game, but I'm going to bet into the 2 night games, starting with St Kilda versus Fremantle. I think first things first, even though St Kilda are at home, Fremantle should be favorite for this game. And I do think there are value in them as the underdog, but I don't have a ton of confidence in backing them just because a little bit of their wayward goal kicking and inaccuracy when going inside 50. So how I'm going to play this game is, if we look through the bet finder here, you'll see in opponent possessions, St Kilda give up 368 disposals to the opponent, which is ranked 16th in the league. So, third worst. And it doesn't matter if it's contested or uncontested. They're giving up high numbers in both categories. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a same game multi here and pair up Fremantle at the plus, and we're going to go 2 players to get disposal. So if we bring up the play here, I was paying $2.05, same game multi, going Fremantle plus 20.5 points. Then Caleb Sarong, 25 plus disposals, and Andrew Brayshaw, 25 plus disposals. We come back over to the bet finders and switch it over to the player disposal trends. Quickly scroll through and find the right game. Here we go. So Fremantle versus St Kilda. They're both at the top, obviously, prolific ball winners. If the square is highlighted in dark green, that means they got over 25. So firstly, Caleb Sarong, every game this season, and all bar 2 last season, all the way back to round 5. I set this up where it's their last 30 games. So he's only missed it on 2 occasions during that time, other than the games where they had the bye. He's averaging 31.6 over this time, 36.3 over the past 3 weeks as well. So he should definitely hit the 25 or more, and obviously is a very short leg. Then Andrew Brayshaw, 25 plus, has hit in the past 4 games, missed in round 5 and round 3. But also, if you go back through last season, hit it in almost every game, especially in the second half of the year. So against the Saints, as I said, who give up a really high number of disposals to the opposition, I think both those players can rack up numbers in the middle, especially in a competitive kind of contested game, which we see both of these sides play. So that's going to be the first play at $2.05. And then the next play in the Brisbane Lions Richmond game. This is a game where Brisbane really should get a percentage boost against the Tigers. Richmond really struggling to score, and even though Brisbane have been struggling to score as well, they're ranked 13th in points for, they also have been very strong defensively. So Brisbane should win this game and win it very comfortably. Don't love the line at minus 47.5. I think, if I had to pick a side, I'd go with the Lions to cover it, but I don't really have a ton of confidence in them. Also don't like playing an over in this game, even though I spoke about in the other video, the trends for this matchup are everything's in favor of the over. Can't trust the Tigers to put up a score. How I'm also going to play this game is with the same game multi, looking into the disposals and fantasy markets, because I think Brisbane players is going to rack up the numbers in this game, as we've seen opposition teams do against Richmond pretty much all season long. Richmond ranked worse than league in opponent disposals and uncontested possessions. So we're going to see the Lions players rack up the numbers. Also, Richmond ranks 2nd worst in points conceded. The only team worse is North Melbourne, who are really getting scored against. So for this reason, I'm going to play a few different angles here on Neds, or you can play this on Ladbrokes. Slide this over. So we're going with Brisbane Lions to win the game, and then we're going to take Josh Dunkley and Dane Zorko to both have 90 or more fantasy points. If we bring back up the fantasy trends, so looking at fantasy trends this time, here we have the Lions Richmond game. So Josh Dunkley, first of all, we need him to get 90 plus. Every game this season, he's been able to clear that number. He did hit 90 in round 6, but still was able to get 90. So confident to back him. He's hit it in all 9 games this season. And then Dane Zorko's only missed in 1 of the 9 games this season, which was round 7. So both those players should be able to rack it up. And then the third leg, aside from the Lions to win, is Hugh McCluggage to get 80 plus fantasy points. So we come back over here. McCluggage in here in third to get 80 or more. He's hit in all bar the opening round games this season. And his average is at 96. So those 3 players, we're looking at just their overall averages against all opposition, but against the Tiger side where they should be able to rack up the disposals. And I think between the 3 of them, they can kick at least 2 goals. Because the Brisbane Lions forward line hasn't exactly been firing. So those mids that can push forward could definitely hit the scoreboard as well. And that will be the second play in the AFL on Saturday night. Then over in the NRL, there's 2 games that I want to hit. First, Titans versus Newcastle. Obviously being Magic Round, all games being played at Suncorp Stadium. This is an advantage for Gold Coast. However, they're really light on in troops this week. Both sides, to be honest, are lacking key position players in the halves and at fullback. So that's going to make these teams struggle to score. And they're already sides that both averaging 18 and 16 points a game, which there isn't all that much between them from an attacking side. So I think both sides are going to struggle in attack. That definitely could push you towards playing an under. But the Titans defense is really, really bad. They're conceding almost 30 points a game. It's improved over the past month, but still really, really poor. Whereas the Knights ranked 6th in the league and top 4 for a couple of categories there, especially medias conceded per point, which is one of the key metrics that I look at defensively. And for that reason, I think that's going to be enough for the Knights to win this game. When we've got 2 sides that are struggling in attack, and then we've got one side significantly better defensively, they're the team that I want to be with. So I don't love the -6.5. So I'm going to buy it down to -5.5 at $1.80. Could play the 6.5, get the extra 15 cents, but it's slightly safer, getting on the right side of the key number. So going Newcastle -5.5. $1.80 at TAB. This is I would prefer -3.5 would be my ideal number, but we're definitely not going to get that with those outs for the Titans. And then the later game, Sharks take on the Roosters. This is probably the best game of the round. Both sides in really good form. You got the top 2 attacking sides and both sides are top 4 defensively. Nico Hines is expected to play as it currently stands on Friday. He's still named in the side, passed the fitness test. Whether he lines up, it could be the same situation as last week against the Melbourne Storm. But either way, I think the Sharks, this is a game that they'll be really wanting to win. The Roosters are the side that knocked them out of the competition in the finals, in the elimination final last season. So a little bit of revenge factor for the Sharks and happy to take them as an underdog. Tossed up whether I want to take the 240 about the Sharks to win. But I'm going to play the +4.5 points at $1.80 as well. So both NRL plays, we're taking a alternate line at $1.80. Just getting on the right side of the key number. With, for example, the Sharks, there's no real use in taking the +3.5. You're better off even going down to a +2.5 or taking them on the head-to-head. But I'm going to play the +4.5 and just get the extra couple of points there for only the few cents difference. And that's going to be how I'm going to be playing the games on Saturday. All these sheets are all available on the investor.bet website. You also get the player try scorer trend. So I'll just quickly show you that. This way you can go through and see which players have been scoring tries in a matchup and potentially players you want to add in as anytime try scorers. What I really like to do is match this up with the tries by position, and then you can compare. Okay, well, we know that the Seagulls left edge is really, really poor. They're conceding the most tries. So, which players on the right edge for their opposition, and in case this weekend is the Broncos, are they a strong side on the right edge? Which you can see here, they are right winger. 8 tries so far this season. Right center, 4 tries, which is second best overall in the league with those two positions combined. So that's how you can kind of use this to factor in your betting decisions when it comes to try scorers, but most importantly, using it for the games. So far, over the past 7 days, I've gone 9-2 across my AFL and NRL bets. And as the season goes on, using the statistics helps you make better and better decisions. Because at the end of the day, if you're not using this, like you can get away with a few wins early on in the season, when the lines haven't been as narrowed in because teams have played less games. As teams play more games, you need to be really dialed in with the stats and the numbers and know how these teams perform and not just kind of be guessing if you actually want to make money. So that's why I made all the bet finders available, both NRL, AFL, like every single tool I use to bet on sports are all available on investor.bet to help you guys win more. Plus, you get all my bets every single day there as well. But wanted to create the YouTube channel to help continue to share the knowledge and the stats to help you guys keep on leveling up every single week. So keep an eye out. I'm going to be posting a video for Sunday as well. That'll be out late on Saturday. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that.